Welcome to Atlantic Television Network Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to provide solutions that will benefit humanity. On today's discussion, we're going to be looking at different topics, starting from Akwa Ibom State. First lady dies after illness. From Delta State government to prosecute doctors for minors contraception. From Ogun State, pastor arraigned for calling gospel artists prostitute. From Lagos State, board suspend 2 correctional service officers. And from Ghana, Nigerian woman jailed for human trafficking. These are the issues we'll be looking at today. You can join us on all our media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic Television Network 1, X Atlantic Television Network. You can also watch us live on our website, Atlantic Television Network. When we return from this break, I will bring my guest for today's show. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and joining me in this conversation is a social commentator. I'm talking about Wabweze Sunday Nathan. Good to have you in the studio this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you. It's good to be here.
All right, looking at the first story for today from Akwa Ibom State. Patience Umoino, the first lady of Akwa Ibom State, has died after an illness. Ini Enobong, the State Commissioner for Information, announced the first lady's passing in a statement issued in the early hour of Friday. The commissioner said the first lady died on Thursday in a hospital in the presence of her family. He said further details will be provided in due course, while expressing the appreciation of Governor Umoino to those who stood by the family in this period. It is with heavy hearts that we announce the passing of the wife of the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Her Excellency Pastor Mrs. Patience Umoino. Following an illness, she passed away peacefully at the hospital on 26 September 2020. In the presence of her family. The statement read, the family submit to the will of the Almighty and asks for the prayers and support of kind-hearted individuals during this difficult time. Further details will be provided by the family as necessary. In the meantime, the family kindly requests privacy as they mourn their beloved wives, mother and grandmother. I feel this difficulties, His Excellency the Governor Pastor Umoino appreciate all those who stood by the first family in his period and assured all citizens that despite these huge personal loss, his commitment to the service of the state is unwavering. Wow, this is a big loss, not just to Nigeria but world at large. And the ATN actually sympathize with the family of Akwa Ibom State Governor Umoino for this huge loss. Mr. Nathan, despite the fact that you know what happened when a loved one is gone. But the governor said that despite all of this, that his commitment to the people of Akwa Ibom State remain unwavering. Do you think it will in any way affect his its work? It affects him generally?
Okay, this is the governor, and of course his family. It's a very thing to hear when somebody has gone through a stressful period of time, campaigning and contesting for election, and you come into the position and you lose your loved one who fought with you, who stood by you. And the governor said that he will be doing it to the people of the state. I don't think it will affect him delivering his his responsibilities to the state. However, I know on a personal level too that he might feel the absence of the loved one, the wife, that when it comes to the responsibility of the state, I believe that he should be somebody who is committed, competent, and committed, so he will not allow that loss to affect his responsibilities and tax at hand with the state.
All right, thank you so much, and I think this is going to pass a huge message to everyone out there that as long as you are awake, this is a little advice to people out there. Yes, you know that death is a natural occurrence that everyone will go through it, but as long as you wake up in the morning, as long as you can breathe, it is enough to say, I am grateful. You don't need to cry about money. A lot of persons have money, but they can't actually buy life. So you have to be grateful no matter what it is. Wake up in the morning. If you don't have anything to say, just thank God for me. All right, let's move on. From Delta State. Delta State government has warned medical personnel against providing family planning service to underage girls without parental or guidance consent, stating it is illegal and punishable. The warning was issued by the State Commissioner for Justice, Owevodore Emekojero-san, during World Contraception Day in Asaba. He emphasized the need for parental consent, but also stressed that women should be allowed to make informed reproductive choice free from coercion. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onojeme, and other stakeholders highlighted the importance of family planning for marital and childbirth. With Nigerian facing high mortality rates, family planning and described as a means to empower women and improve health outcomes. World Contraception Day, observed annually on September 26, aimed to raise awareness about conception and promote informed sexual and productive health choice. All right, Mr. Nathan, this is from Delta State, and they are of opinion that any doctor that produce abortive pills to any underage girls will definitely be persecuted. And I'm wondering, before a young girl go into carnal knowledge with a man, she should know her wrong from right. And then if she decides to get rid of whatever she's carrying in there, is also her choice. And some of these people, they are living a kind of lifestyle that the parents are very much aware, but because they are out of control, they can't possibly control them anymore. Don't we have the right to do right of choice anymore? Don't we have the right? Where is the right of freedom? Like, if I'm doing something and I don't want this thing to happen, I don't want this thing around me, can't I decide the kind of life that I want to live? Why is the government persecuting doctors for providing service, for offering services to the people that want this particular service? You're just smiling.
Okay, thank you. So you know that when we say the word minor, it indirectly means that the person does not have the right to make a decision for or by himself by law. It is also the reason why the people that are considered minor, I think by Nigerian constitution, 18 should be youth. Anything below 18, you don't have the right to vote. So,
but Mr. Nathan, Mr. Nathan, the minor, the yes. minor that we know, let's not put it whether it's Nigerian sees it because of course you also know that if you're talking about vulnerables in Nigeria, it is not well defined. So we don't know the people that are actually vulnerable. So talking about minor in a right context as it should be, we are talking about 5 to 10 years, and those people are not capable of taking in. So I mean, what are we talking about here? So let me understand what you're trying to say.
Okay, the understanding of minor by the Nigerian constitution is somebody from 81 to 17.
Okay.
From 18, that is when somebody has that the person is considered an adult and the person has the capacity for independent, and of course the person can be prosecuted by law. Okay. It is also the reason why in legal matters, when somebody between 1 to 17 commits an offense, the person is put into what they call juvenile, is treated as a juvenile. So you have not yet grown to that extent of being considered as an independent, self-reliant, somebody that can make decisions on your own. So I believe that the reason why the state government announcement statement is because people that are at that age, they need parental or guardian approval. If you are 12, if you are 13, you cannot open an account because your account will be under a guardian. I have worked in the bank before. You are not to be that somebody that can have an account independently, because you can't also have national ID card at that age. So it is when you get up to 18 and the age of accountability by the constitution. So therefore, I understand that for that statement to be made, it means that what they're trying to curtail is the doctors working with those minors who don't constitutionally don't have the right to make such kind of decisions, giving them that power to take contraceptive, which is supposed to be what adults should be doing, taking. I don't know if I answered your question.
Okay, so what is it different if the parents if the parents consent and they ask them ahead, it means that they're still going to take the drugs and the right thing or what supposed to happen will happen. What is the difference between parents knowing and them not trying to use some words? Now there is a man who was involved in this. A man impregnated a minor, underage girl, that is supposed to be prosecuted. And this was done based on the victim's consent. And
the parent of the child is aware of that. If anything happens to the child, have a place to monitor and to manage these occurrences, then what the judge did there will be just a public show without anything, it will not any result. Most pharmacies or chemists even, they have contraceptives there. Any person can go in there and pick anyone they want and walk away, and there will be no way to track it. So to put systems and structures in place to be able to monitor what is going on, and for them what they just made an announcement that they want to do. It is not just about talking, it is about doing.
All right, thank you so much.
That is what we should do, yes.
Let's look at the next story for today. A clergyman, Niyi Peter, was arraigned in Oshogbo, Osun State for allegedly defaming gospel artist Bumi Akinamu also known as Omije Ojomi, on social media. Peter is facing 3 charges, including posting Akinmu's picture with the label prostitute song and sending her a threatening voice note. This action allegedly caused a breach of peace and defamed Akinmu's character. Peter pleaded not guilty and the court granted him bail at 1 million naira, with the 2 shorties both required to be civil servants. The case is set for further hearing on October 22, 2024. All right, this is a case of Peter, a pastor who with us, should I call it, let me not go there.
That many people will begin to think that there is some artists, based on how they dress, how they look, and a few other things, begin to categorize them as prostitutes. And that will not be the appreciation of their music, the appreciation of their administration will no longer be the way people used to appreciate it before. It will impact negatively on the music ministry, music industry, and the Christian food. So, first of all, like I said, the money, 1 million naira that was fined, it shouldn't stop at paying that money. He should come up publicly to make a post or a public announcement that he was wrong by what he said. That will correct some of the damages. That is one of the things that he should be asked to do. He should go back to the post because, for instance, it wouldn't mark. I apologize to you and pay the fine for it, whereas they ever. For modesty's sake, so we can consider certain ways somebody will dress and look that will show, certain aspects of your body is covered for a female minister. Talking about the lyrics of the song, if the lyrics of the song that somebody is singing, some people consider that if it is not churchy, in other words, it doesn't really have anything to relate to the word of God, it is them. But on a personal level, I will differ to that. However, it also means that we have to go back.
All right, thank you so much. And then let's look at the next. Immigration Service Board has suspended several senior mayor. Bobrisky served his 6-month sentence in a private apartment facilitated by his godfather and the Correctional Service Controller General. Additionally, ASC 11 Ogunle Obinna from Afikpo, Ebonyi State, was suspended from escorting an inmate outside the facility. SCC Abuja was suspended for allegedly receiving money on behalf of the inmate. The suspensions are to allow for further investigations into these allegations. Wow, there's note that is flowing everywhere. Webism. He actually spent as people thought it was, and this has led to a suspension investigation. What is your take on this happening issues?
You see, in fact, one of the challenges we face in Nigeria is corruption, which I believe you know, and part of what drives that is this godfatherism syndrome, plague. So, if Bobrisky was supposed to be in the curriculum, and because of
Bobrisky now is based on who you know. Is that what it seems? Is that what you think?
Obviously, because in the legal field, there are what we call precedents. So obviously, from precedent, what is happening, it is what it is possible to assume, to infer that people going to the correctional center and those don't go, it is an interest or a case of godfatherism. When somebody who is highly placed flouts what is it called, traffic rule or standard, and the person is supposed to be reprimanded one way or the other, somebody above the person who is connected and placed just puts a call, and that cancels it, and we say okay, and that is overlooked. But when somebody who doesn't have access to those kind of network or godfathers, the person can be prosecuted for anything, or the person can be reprimanded for even slight things that shouldn't be. So yes, the godfather factor influences a lot of what happens in the Nigerian system, especially in the trend or the occurrence of somebody going to the correctional center or not. Yes, I believe that is the case here.
So now that we have a case where no matter the kind of offense you commit, there are people you can actually put a call through. And then we have the issue of insecurity, issue of banditry, issue of insurgency in Nigeria, the issue of money laundering. We also have, of course, corruption in the, among elites, politicians, and all of those. Now that it looks like there are people that the calls can be put through, even issue of drugs. You've been hearing that NDLA nabbed a drug king and all that. In the next few minutes, you will just realize that the story has gotten a different shape altogether. Where do you see Nigeria in 2030? That we are expecting that by then we should be able to, at least Nigeria should be well secure from corruption, insecurity, drug abuse, child trafficking, and all of those. So with this,
so the challenge here is that no matter how we pretend that these things don't exist, they exist and they matter and they influence, they have impact in the overall system in Nigeria. So 2030, even beyond, I wouldn't be surprised that some of what is still happening. We shouldn't even go into the part of banditry, money laundering, and you will be surprised that the people that are involved in some other people that are in authority, have political positions, are the ones sponsoring them and are the ones that are pushing for that. And that is ongoing. It is only going to stop when the government owns up itself and admits that the political class are the problem, and therefore matters need to be at that level, so that the things that are going on, we talk about bribery, we talk about corruption, we talk about banditry, we talk about drug abuse, we talk about money laundering, we talk about human trafficking, a lot of it. There are people that go from that. Until those people are apprehended or the source they are cut off, these things will not stop. Give between 2030, they will be there if they don't even escalate or increase. Because more people are entering into the system who understand the game and also understand the game and also understand the game from it. So they enter into it and play the game, and then the corruption, all these things continue. So 2030, I am very sure that this will still continue if the government don't go down to fish.
All right, thank you. You're just so optimistic about the negativity. Well, that I don't know about you. Obviously, it's as though before Nigeria, we call the Nigeria the giants of Africa, that we really are the fathers who father the fathers that are fathers, the fathers to, you know, the fatherism and the sponsorers of whatever here and there. Have to be, you know, they have to bring them to the book before they can start fighting the branches. It's obvious you can't fight the roots. You cannot fight the branch when you have not gotten to the roots. Yes. Okay, the last story for today is on human trafficking. A 28-year-old, that's from Ghana, a 28-year-old Nigerian Miss Favor Ogu was sentenced to 8 years in prison by the Ghanaian there under false promises of employment. The Nigerian in desperate commission thank Ghanaian authorities for their cooperation and acknowledge the support of First Lady Oluremi Remi Tinubu, NID of Ghana, the Nigerian Embassy, and Interpol, This rescue, the girls have been handed over to the Nigerian National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, for prohibition and reintegration with their families. Okay, this is another issue. A young girl of, should I call her lady, 28 years, a human trafficker, successfully carried about, of course, so many girls, age 15 to 22, with false promises, taking them to Ghana for a different thing altogether. I know that the issue of trafficking is rampant in our society. Let's look at this. These girls, 15 to 20, so remember we talked about minor, according to them, that their children are nowhere to be found. And again, why should a minor, a girl underage, move out of the house to her guardians, her parents, before moving in this guys? Because they were not kidnapped.
Okay, so there are a lot of things that are connected here, a lot of issues. If we begin to dig deep, we are going to talk about. Number one is that the human trafficking system, or a lot of other things, it's an organic system. We need to understand that it's an organic system. Arresting the woman, 28 years, is not is not politics, or it's not anything for me, because there are